The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for now.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Voice, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sally on the Knockem Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully you'll get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. It is Friday. Woo!
Friday.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn those lights on.
Hey, lights.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
bet you it's about to look a whole lot better.
God said, bam. Hi, everybody. It's Friday. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast. It's good to see you. We've been off a few days. Hello, Kirsten. Nice to see you. I don't know if Beansy's watching. I was going to say happy birthday to Beansy. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday. No, I mean.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, happy
Great. Good for
birthday. Thanks for joining us. Sorry we had to take a few days off. Hope everybody's well.
Sorry, my leg is better.
Andy's leg is doing much better. His middle leg.
Yes.
His middle leg. You can't help
See
but
the
notice
blood
it.
all over it. I mean, it turns me on, but I get it. It's off-putting.
I had, who was it? Oh, Keegan and Hirschman the other day were getting on me for posting that picture.
Yeah, I actually got to watch that live for once, and yeah, they were really like, well, Hirschman was making it like, thank you, Tony,
Right.
thank you for overcoming everything. And I'm like, oh man, this is hilarious. But
You know, I wish Hirschman. Do you know Mark?
no, I've never met him.
He's really interesting to me because he does this show and he likes to talk sports and he talks with Keegan and talks comedy with their guests, and they had a great guest on.
Yeah,
the
that
other
was
day.
really cool.
Danny Cohen, who's a great comedian. But in real life, but you know, behind
IRL, behind the scenes, behind the curtain.
yeah, whatever you want to
Pay
call
no
it.
attention to the man behind the curtain.
Hirschman, he's almost like Don Rickles to me. He's so quick with put downs and
Right.
insults, cracks me up all the time. We were at a wake, maybe like a year ago, or give or take. One of the,
Right.
I don't want to, somebody,
Yeah, somebody.
Somebody had passed. We were at this wake, bunch of comedians there, and this is when I've only gotten to know Mark just within the past, since the pandemic, so a year or two. But he said he made fun of me. I forget what he even said, but he said something to somebody. I was standing there, and he said something to one of the other comedians about me. And thank God I remembered where we were because I was about to just bust out cracking up.
Right.
But he's so quick and so funny, as like with insults and picking on people. I wish that was more of his
Shtick.
shtick, his act, his niche. Yeah, very, very funny guy.
That's always one of the things that's like a hard translation. Like, I recognize I'm an awesome hang,
I will second that.
but it doesn't always translate, because what I do is I layer inside jokes
Right.
and I mash them together and everything. And if you're not inside, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then it's not. And a lot of it's like slamming people.
Yeah.
A lot of you people out there.
Andy will slam you.
But
You will be the slammy.
for comedy's sake, like I don't always necessarily think that. But
But that's actually the problem with a lot of people who try comedy, because they're so funny with the inside jokes that their friends convince them that they should do comedy, and
Right.
then it's hard to transfer.
right.
But that's what I'm saying about Hirschman. Like, I barely knew the guy at the time, and it wasn't an inside joke thing. Somebody was talking about something, and he said, "Well, what about Tony Walker?" Like, because again, we didn't know each other that well to have inside jokes at that time.
Right.
So, and that's why I say Don Rickles, because Don Rickles can insult so good, and in such a way that you knew he was joking.
Right.
You didn't take it seriously, and I think Hirschman has that.
Rich Walker's another one who I feel is able to. No, that's really good. I mean, I see him
Yes.
a lot of the times talking to Bozy,
Right.
and so I mean, I know that's low hanging fruit and everything.
Yeah. Well, excuse me.
Fine.
I think about good morning, Carol Miner.
Sup, Carolina?
How's the house coming along? Carol's redoing like her kitchen and like a whole bunch of her house.
How's your beaver?
Yes, the weather is getting cooler, so now she can start sending that stuff again.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to send her some money so that she just sends us some of that delicious
regular.
chocolate box.
Yeah, delicious chocolate box.
That's right. With the good caramel inside.
Hell yeah. You got to work at it for a while.
Nice mushy I don't even remember what the hell we were talking about.
No,
Rich Walker.
And Rich Walker, yeah.
I always think, and I don't know what it is, it just cracked me up so much when Rich Walker did top fives with Don Sill. And they're doing their top five list.
Yeah.
And at the very end, because they compiled their top five, and then Rich Walker goes, "No, what do we do with this list?"
Yeah.
or who do we give it to, or something like that. So
does it get
freaking
handed in?
funny. It just cracked me up. But that's what I think about with those guys. So I have you are an awesome hang, and you talked about how you realized that.
Yeah.
I've realized. Sorry, I'm going for a bad segue.
Fucking A. It's Bad Segue Friday.
Bad segue Friday. I like
Freeform Friday.
well, you're not wearing your glasses.
They broke.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did they break?
I think I sat on them.
Oh, that's.
I don't know. I was really high, and I woke up, and they were next to me in the crack in the.
The crack.
Yeah.
Oh. That's weird.
Of the person who was next to me. The between the seat cushions. And
wow.
They were broke, and I was able to the woman at the Vision Works around the corner from me was able to bend back the bracket thing, but then it snapped off like a couple of days, like a day later.
Oh wow! Do you have contacts? You don't have a backup
I can't
pair?
find my backup pair.
So how bad are your eyes without your glasses? I mean, you made it here, so I guess you're all right.
All right, so I'm looking at the wall there. It says guests and host, Wi-Fi password. Okay, only because I'm super smart do I know that says type, but I wouldn't be able to. That looks like TICA.
Oh wow!
And then I know that's like my brain is able to fill in a lot of the stuff, but
right.
I can't actually read. Now here we go.
Wi-Fi password.
The Wi-Fi password. I cannot fucking read that. I know that the first, I'm guessing that's 4 or 5 letters are lowercase. Then there are maybe 4 numbers. Then 2 more lowercase, then another 4 or 5 numbers, and then 2 lowercase at the end.
Wow. You started off right. You started off well, and then about halfway through, you got all messed up.
I can't.
Yep.
That's if I squint,
Wow.
I can kind of see it, but it's not good at all.
All right, so that's not
terrible.
great,
Like,
but
I can get by.
Yeah, right.
I
you
can,
get by.
a lot of the problem has been like, but now I'm like that crazy old person. I don't want to look at your thing and like where like I'm trying to find the right spot.
So you can see this, okay?
I can, and I just like I relax my eyes and I can totally read all of that.
Okay. So you're in luck. You can see Fremder comments.
Yeah. Do you have a pen with you? I can stab myself in the eye. So I don't have to.
Glasses stuck in the crack. That way your ass can see where you're going. Yeah. I was thinking something more like that way you can really tell if you wiped well or something.
I just like the smell. I want it on the bridge so that I can smell ass, my ass, and things I ate. Because there's nothing like your own smell.
That's a lot of times you don't even smell your own shit.
Yeah, I love when you can smell what you ate, or that you poop out and you're like, oh wow, I think I'm actually kind of hungry for tacos again.
I'm going to tell you something that's going to be disgusting to some of you guys. So, Mom, actually turn the sound down, and then I'll wave like this when you can turn it back up, because this is you'll appreciate this, but a lot of you guys won't. This is a little disgusting. I once knew a girl years ago.
Nantucket?
Oh. Wow, there's somebody at the bar who wants to buy a gift card.
Shh, nobody knows we're here.
So Mom, turn the sound down. I once knew a girl.
You just gave her the sound.
Oh, that's right. No. Mom, if the sound is back up, turn it back down, and
now.
I will wave.
No.
I will wave. This is a girl I knew a long time ago. I haven't seen this girl in like 30 years. I have no idea what became of her. But she was a friend. She was somebody I knew at the time. I knew her well. Not intimately. I would have liked to, because
biblically.
Because she was hot.
Smoking.
Oh my God, she was hot.
Smoke show.
But she was easy.
Nice.
She was very easy. And I was hanging out with her one night, and there was a guy there that she had banged.
Relations.
She had the relations. So this guy verified it. She claimed that
2 clitorises.
Oh, that'd be cool. She claimed that she could tell you what you had for dinner by swallowing you. You know, giving you oral sex and swallowing it.
That is such a great fucking carnival trick.
And this guy that was there, maybe they were putting me on, I don't know, but this guy, he's like, oh yeah, she did it with me, and she told me what I had for dinner, and she totally nailed it.
Oh, wow.
I was like, all right. But yeah, this girl was a heavy. My guess is that she might even be dead at this point. She was into sex. She was into drugs. Like she was a big partier. She was a wild one.
So great. She should work with the guy who's like, you're 16. Guessing weights and everything like that.
Right.
I've always been fantastic at that. At guessing people's dinners based on their their ages. I'm really good. I'm so good, I know when to fucking go low or go high. Like in regular conversation where people are like, how old do I look? And I'm like, this person is 37. I'm like, 27. And, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, so if I've said that to you before, just know I actually know how old you are.
So if I showed you a picture of somebody, would you be able to tell how old they were at that time?
I could probably. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my friend and one of my very good friends, though not anymore, when we were in North Dakota, went to North Dakota State Fair. Now, we were 19, so we couldn't drink or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so we were cruising for chicks at the State Fair. And
that's probably the place to do it there.
No, absolutely. But
yeah.
It started with my buddy Will, who he lives down in like the D.C. area, and he's from there. And he was like, yo, let's go talk to that girl. And I'm like, that girl is 14 years old. And he's like, there's no way that girl's 14 years old. All right, $1. And we had this running dollar bet.
Right.
Went up. Hey, how old are you? 14.
Wow.
And the $1. Throughout the day, I made $20 off of him.
Wow.
Because he was, by the end of it, he was like, he had gotten none right. And I had nailed it. I mean, there were a couple of ties. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like I completely dominated him in that sense. Because, I mean, we asked around 100 girls.
Oh, my goodness.
Their age. And even women. Because at one point we were at John Michael Montgomery. Because you could pay for the, like, $30 for the whole week for concerts. But then there were, like, other concerts, like the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. You had to pay extra to see them.
Right.
Faith Hill, you had to pay extra to see her, but not Tim McGraw, because this is when Tim McGraw started.
Oh.
And he was a great performer. I like seeing him. I was like, I don't like country music, but this is pretty awesome.
Oh, wow.
John Michael Montgomery, on the other hand, was like...
yeah, right.
And that's where we were... Because it's all general admission. And I started going, there he is! And the entire crowd would hush. And, like, I'm, like, obsessed with, like, controlling people talking. And people were like, huh?
Right.
And then, oh, I didn't say that. Or I'd go, shh. And everybody would, like, stop.
It would start to spread. Shh.
But then I also have this thing where I go, and it gets people talking louder and louder and louder. Because it's just like white noise, it's background noise, and when people hear noise, they start talking louder. I used to do this in a bunch of different situations, and the girls that worked for me in North Carolina, I used to have them dying at commander's calls, because when the commanding officer or an officer enters the room or the building, and he's a higher ranking officer than any officer that might already be in the room, you have to bring the room to attention. And you learn this in basic training where it's like, room, 10 hut, right? Mm-hmm. Or squadron, 10 hut. And what we used to do in basic was, room. And everybody fucking shut up.
Right.
And so I started becoming obsessed then. But at commander's call, we'd be in a theater, because it's when the commander briefs us as to like how things are going. People get their awards and decorations, shake and take, the whole fucking 9
Shake and take?
Yeah. Shake and take your award. And so you're waiting for the commander to come, and he's going to make an entrance, and the chief is going to call the room to attention and everything. So I would sit us right in the middle of the theater, and I'd be like, and the two girls that worked for me were like, it was like having children. They were like, oh my God, this is so fucking embarrassing. But the volume of the place would go up, and they'd be like, holy shit. And then I go, watch this. And everybody's looking back to see if the chief is there to call the room to attention, the whole 9 yards. And then it would start over. I go, and it would start coming up, and they're like, "This is like, how did you find this?" I'm like, "From Basic. We all fucking did this."
But did you have to turn to somebody and act like you were talking, or you just sat there?
I went like this, and sometimes I wanted the sound to not necessarily go forward, but go and it would travel that way, and it would get, because you didn't want to keep doing it the same way, otherwise people are gonna get a fucking hold of it and be like, all right, Sergeant Plagano, shut the fuck up.
Right.
You know, like, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass. Like, this was not the situation to be fucking around, because you're waiting for the commander, and if you're not one of the ones that shoots up as soon as that guy walks in.
I don't understand Frender's comment. Commanding officer says to the soldier, "Why are you scratching yourself?" Soldier replies, "Because I'm the only one that knows where it itches, sir."
Yeah, that's not funny.
I didn't get it. All right.
Anyway. Yeah.
So, all right. So I have a couple things here today.
Bring it.
I am going to complain about the New York Yankees.
Good. Take it.
Well, and it has nothing to do with them losing the past two games. This is more important stuff about the Yankees, in my opinion. So the other day,
impotent.
The other day they were, when they were in the first round of the playoffs, they were playing the Cleveland Guardians. Best of 5 makes it to the next round, which is the Yankees, where they currently are. They beat the Guardians. We all know that. They're in the next round. They're losing 2 games to none. But when they were going to play the deciding game, the 5th and final game of the first round against Cleveland, the game got rained out.
Yes.
Okay, it was supposed to be this past Monday. So it got the game was supposed to be 7:00 start Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Got postponed to 4:00 Tuesday.
Sure.
Now, sorry, I haven't been here since Monday, so I'm talking about old stuff. So what happened was, so if you're going to that game Monday night, it's 7:00 start. You're out of work, you're out of school, you can get there. Now they scheduled the game. It's a weekday. It's now at 4:00. You know, most people are out of. Some people are out of school.
No, but you got to get there.
Rush to get there. Most people are not out of work, so they either have to leave work or they go to the game late, whatever the case may be. So it's either way, it's a pain.
Right.
So that, I feel, screwed the ticket holders a little bit. I understood it because whoever won that game had to then fly to Houston that night because they're playing the very next day against Houston. I get it, but still, you're still screwing the fans. So then on top of that, if you couldn't make it to the game, so if you had tickets for that Monday night, it was good for Tuesday. But if you couldn't go Tuesday afternoon, they were not giving out any refunds or exchanges.
Yeah, no, that's always how it's been. I've never heard that, because they're just like, your ticket is good for the next game. That's it. And so you need to get on to one of the resale fucking sites.
Well, all right. Well, yes, but I disagree with that. I'm pretty sure it used to be when we were kids. Where it used to be if you can't go, but maybe not a refund. Although I could have sworn there was, but if you can't get, but they would at least exchange it for another game.
That might be during the regular season.
Yes.
But the fucking playoffs is different, because now, let me exchange this for another playoff game.
No, I get that.
Oh, and now they're eliminated.
I get that. But
so now I want a refund. They do not want to give you, no business wants to give you their money back.
You can, but we're talking about the Yankees. We're talking about postseason. You can give that refund because you're going to sell that ticket. All you got to do is make an announcement. Tickets are available for tonight's
no.
for this game. People will come to the box office that afternoon and buy them.
That's based on your perception of the Yankees and whatnot.
People were paying $2,500 to see Aaron Judge hit that 60-second home run.
Well, that's
if they're doing
a spectacle.
So if they're doing that though, then they'll show up last minute to get tickets for the
resale
game.
tickets. Those again, they can't have full control over the resale. And that's where the $2,500 tickets for Judge came from. Wasn't from the Yankees. The Yankees have a standard rate they charge you for.
Oh no, I'm just pointing out if people are willing to pay that, then they're willing to show up at the stadium last minute to buy these tickets that weren't available that are now available.
The whole fact of that they could have been eliminated and all that other stuff that's. You have to take that into account because they're in a business. It's a business. They're not going to give you your money back. If you want to get money for this, now you get on one of the resale things. Or how many times? How many times are people like, "Oh, I got 4 tickets." We can't
and I'm sure that's what these people ended up doing. They couldn't go, they throw it on a real resale site and get their money back. But, that's still a pain in the ass. You used to have to take time out of your day to do that.
Yeah, but that's not the Yankees. I think you have, like many Mets fans, you have a sickness of assuming certain things about the Yankees, especially when it comes to money. Most people do. But especially when it comes to money things and whatnot, because they are such a rich club and because they do normally carry at least in the top 3, if not 5, payrolls and whatnot. Yeah. But no, this is standard operating procedure. It used to happen to me with I had season tickets to NYCFC, the MLS team that plays in Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
That's on you. They did all that they could to create a resale marketplace for you to be able to go to.
Yeah.
And they would try to, because they're trying to fill the stadium. The stadium is going to fill itself, so they don't have to offer a resale market. The Yankees, even though I think they actually do, but the Ticketmaster is typically who you would go through for this resale market. But that's not.
Well, but it was the Yankees that put the statement out saying we're not. Of course,
the Yankees are good because it's their franchise. It's not Major League Baseball is the ones who said play at 4. Because they don't want it to interfere with their other television contracts.
But to not allow refunds, I don't know. To me, I don't know. I just think that's wrong.
That would actually be,
I would be mad at the Mets for doing that too. By the way,
and they would probably have to do that. I mean, you'll never find out.
Right. Right. I'm aware of that.
Yeah. This situation will never happen for the Mets in terms of being in the playoffs and blah blah blah. But yeah.
J-Lo was dating a Yankee until she found out that Derek cheated.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful. Mm-hmm. And Derek wasn't the one she was dating.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit the structure of the joke or non-joke, whatever.
Fremda, you've had 3 days since we were on. You couldn't come up with...
That's it. This is all the stale stuff. This is this is the first time you...
All the stuff he's had banked, so he's got to
blow all the dead stuff out.
Got to blow all the dead stuff out.
And now this is all live semen that we're dealing with after this, hopefully.
Sorry I haven't been here. I had a leg issue.
Oh, my God, we know.
All right, so fuck it.
Well, the picture, we were just talking about it.
Well, yeah, that's how we got into the Hirschman thing, right? Okay.
I ain't hating.
What?
I ain't hating.
I just don't want to hear about it anymore.
I am reciprocating. I wish I could actually properly rhyme in real time.
Oh, hey!
Never mind. I did just fine.
You know, it's funny you mention that. Just last night, I got an email from our administrator who at the PAL. Okay. You know, I'm at the PAL that I'm a part of, the special needs division. There was this new boy that's joining our bowling league.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh boy.
So she emails me and she says, the bowling. I'll try to make this as quick as possible. The league had already started, okay. So you can't register because it already started.
Right.
But we still had some open spots. So as long as you have an account on our website, we will register you for that. Then you got to go, after we register you, then you got to go back in and pay.
Right.
So there's this kid that showed up last week, and so we explained it to him. If you don't have an account on the website already, open an account. Then we'll register you. We'll let you know. Then you pay the money on the website. You pay for the bowling. So this week it's been done. So I got an email last night from the administrator of our board that this boy took care of it, and he's all paid. He's good to go. But his name is Ray. Okay. So all the email said was Ray is registered for bowling. That was the whole email. So I wrote back, me being me. I wrote, well, did Ray pay? Because if Ray didn't pay, he won't be able to play. Right. You know what I say? So that's all I wrote, just like that, and I'm laughing at myself.
Right.
She just writes back, it's all taken care of. I'm like, all right, somebody doesn't have a sense of humor today.
Yeah. No, and sometimes you don't even I feel like sometimes I don't even notice when people are able to do that. I always notice it when people don't mean to do it.
Right.
And my favorite is and wasn't it from Breakfast Club? I love this.
I don't know if you guys are able to hear that.
Can you guys hear?
So apparently, from what I just heard from the yelling was...
Well, you're combining two stories that may or may not be directly related.
True.
So go ahead.
But, all right, well, this one, somebody made their way into the club somehow, and she told him that he's got to wait, and then he ended up leaving.
But he left something. That's why.
He left something.
That was the end of that, and that's why I'm like.
All I heard was that he left. I didn't hear the something part.
That they may not be related. That's what broke it up in my brain.
But then she said he got in through the back.
Yeah,
so
he did.
Does that mean he walked in right here?
Maybe.
That means I might get in trouble.
No,
I didn't leave that open.
You're not. We've heard this open a couple of times now since we've been in here.
This back door or that?
This back door twice.
Because there's a door up there that squeaks just like this one does.
Door up there.
No, but it squeaks like that.
No, I know, but it's also like the way sound moves and everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't think I left that open today. Because if we don't have guests coming in...
They got cameras anyway. You'll get in trouble somehow.
I usually do.
Yeah. I didn't get to tell you last week I found a wallet on the floor in the bathroom.
Here at Governor's?
Yes.
Was it yours?
No.
Oh. Whose was it?
It was...
really?
Right next door.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I picked it up. I checked one of the credit cards just to see that it was his. I was going to give it to him anyway because it's the most convenient and whatever. It's the time that I went to the bathroom in the middle because diabetes. Yes. And I went in and I'm like, hey, I think this is yours. Better than saying like, hey, I was rifling through this.
Right, yeah.
And he was like, oh, my God, thank you so much. And I was like, hey, no problem.
And let me guess, it was like this thick.
Yeah, it was. But it was like all cards.
Oh.
Not that I didn't actually end up looking in the billfold part.
Right.
But it was like solid.
Why didn't you say, you want this back? Well, I think I got a headlining spot coming up.
That's more along the lines of what I would have done because I love Bugs Bunny. I wanted to be Bugs Bunny when I was a kid.
I hear you. Who doesn't want to be?
What were we talking? There was something.
I think we had finished. We were talking about rhyming and stuff. I heard "just in the face makes you go bald." I have no idea what friend is talking about today.
I would imagine that has to do with ejaculating into someone's face makes you go bald, or makes the other person go bald. I don't know.
Oh, all right. You figured me out.
That's how I see it.
All right, so let's talk about this. And again, I haven't been here in a couple of days, so this might be an old story by now.
Rapid fire, baby. We'll do the lightning round.
Nice. This woman with the animals in Miller Place. Did you?
No, I have not heard it. That's out by me, but
yeah.
But I'll do it, Mr. Tony. I'll do this one as Fat Jay. So go ahead. What's happened in Miller Place with animals?
That's pretty good. Miller Place, for those of you who don't know, it's on the North Shore, but it's way out east, probably like almost an hour from here.
Way out east. It is an hour from here.
Yeah, okay. Great town. I know some people over there.
But it's still only halfway of the physical island.
That's true. That's right. So over 300 animals were found living in filthy conditions in a woman's house.
Toots. Why don't you get into some other sexual proclivities? He would never say that.
He would try. He might. He would look for some other big word.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
In a woman's house, this woman had over 300 animals surrounded by, they were living in their excrement, their vermin, and there were tens of thousands of roaches. Actually, I read another article that said actually over 100,000.
Was Christopher Brian Roach one of them?
Oh, is his family that big? Special investigators who deal with animal cruelty were contacted by the town of Brookhaven animal control officers reporting a hoarding situation in the home. What is now being called Operation Open Cage, officers reported finding 118 rabbits, 150 birds, 15 cats, 7 tortoises, 3 snakes, and several mice at the home when they initially responded to complaints of alleged...
If they waited long enough, there would have only been 3 snakes left.
True. You're absolutely...
If we're talking
right.
an open cage,
Yeah.
I hate when they name things.
Yeah, I know.
When I was in the Air Force, I mean, everything had a name. And
Right.
I always thought it was stupid.
Yep, I agree. The animals were living among filth, many surrounded by their feces and urine, covered in vermin. It is estimated that there were tens of thousands of cockroaches crawling through the home. Some of the animals were also suffering from untreated medical conditions and are now being helped out by the ASPCA. They had to mobilize over 20 responders, which I believe is a lot for...
You know what I heard about all those animals?
No.
Is that they are on a John Butera show this weekend. They're all bringing, which is amazing. Because they all know each other. You would think that they only thought that they were bringing, but they all have rings.
The special tortoise night.
Yeah.
Tortoise night. The 20 responders who acted on this, they needed protective suits and respirators just to enter the home. Wow. So over 300 animals at this place. All right, that's wild, right?
That is wacky, wild stuff, Ed.
The last house that I owned, when I first bought it, there was a lady living next door, and you can tell just on the outside, this is a house that has not been touched in years. Yeah. And she was definitely nutty. She had a little minivan that she sat in. Probably, it had to be like close to 20 hours a day. She would just sit in this van. So she would drive off but come back, but she would just stay in this van. Older lady.
No.
And during the summers, the house on the other, her door was on the side of the house on the other side of her, next door. So during the summers, that house would complain that the smell coming from this house. So one day she got out of the van. She was going towards her house and she fell. She tripped on the stoop and fell.
Hilarious.
So my ex-wife and her father happened to be outside, so they went to help her. And she did nothing but yell at them that she didn't want their help. But they insisted. They got her up. They opened a door for her, and they said they couldn't really yeah. They couldn't even really see anything because there was so much
haze.
Well, it's just so much stuff.
Dander.
So they came home.
My eyes are watering just thinking about it.
Oh, it's awful. So, and I don't know who it was. I have my suspicions, but the town of health, the board of health, was finally called. Sorry, and
that's hilarious.
They went, and sure enough, this house was totally just covered,
fucked up.
And
I think
messed.
the technical term is.
Yes, totally fucked up. And they condemned it. And they managed to find some family for this woman. She had children down in Virginia. So they came up and they got her and they took her.
I thought she was just gonna die, but I guess we'll take her.
Yeah, they were like just waiting for the payout. But this house was disgusting, because then they condemned it, found a guy that would buy it, and he was flipping it, and the whole works. But during this whole process,
the souls of all those dead animals haunted to this day.
Yeah, exactly. What is that from?
I don't know.
Oh, that's
anything.
I thought that was a movie. So
probably
So I got to talking one day to one of the town officials when they, as this whole process was going on and people coming in and out of the house. He told me that when the house was first reported for the smell and the bad conditions. He said this woman, she's the original owner of the house, going back to, I think he said, to the 60s or 70s. But it's been so long since the woman had running water that they couldn't find, like they had to do a lot of extensive research to find this house on their records.
Holy shit.
And yeah, that blew me away. So this woman probably went years without taking a
There's
shower.
no C of O. You're not going to have to go through the process. The town's just dicks about it. I imagine.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of that.
The house just sat empty and disgusting for probably about a year, maybe a
Yeah.
little longer. And then, another
I will
guy
give
took
credit where credit is due for the town of Brookhaven has, it's the largest town in the largest county in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not population-wise, but they've made a commitment to knocking down what they call zombie homes, which are these ones that have been condemned and
Mm-hmm.
people are, they're in tax arrears and all this other shit, but to actually go and knock it down. So, because it started with in Quorum, there's like this hub of there's a Home Depot there. It's like at the intersection basically of 112 and 25.
Oh, okay.
So that's like that's an important intersection.
There's a McDonald's over there.
There is a McDonald's, there's a Burger King, the Quorum Fire Department is right there.
Yeah, right, yes.
Home Depot, Stop and Shop, Firestone. I think that was the Firestone that either Tony Landolfi works at or used to work at.
Oh, okay.
So very important place.
We just know the McDonald's. That's all we need to know.
Quorum Diner is literally right there. But there's a bunch of buses that hit that bus stop, and I used to take the bus from Middle Island to Suffolk for a period of time to save on money, and so I had to stop there a lot. But there were these two houses across the street that I remember when I was a kid going to camp in Yaphank, and we would pass through that intersection every day, twice. They were abandoned then.
Oh, wow.
And it's like Granny. I mean, I think it's technically Granny Road at that point, but nobody there. But there have been vagrants in there. A lot of bad shit has happened there. But they finally were able to. They made this commitment, and they've knocked those houses down. They've knocked a bunch of houses down, to be honest, which is actually a good thing.
Yeah, of course.
So.
Fremder, oh goodness, am I the only person watching? No, you're not, and I'm not reading the other comment. And then all right, let's see. He sent another comment that I have to approve.
What's that say?
Sounds like a lady forgot to clean out her intersection.
That's good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Just it's clever.
Yep.
Everything else is sucked, but that's just okay.
But no, you're not the only one watching. There are others watching.
At one point, there were 9 people watching.
Yeah, it's gone down a little bit. It's oh wow, it's gone down again. It's
I think
always
mainly because
bouncing.
you've been talking a lot.
Me? Yeah, probably. Probably. I post these white post videos to promote the show, and I think that's what people are expecting. Oh, I'm going to see cute animals, and then they see us or me. You they're okay with.
Trying to do cute animal shit. I don't know. I don't fucking like animals. So
That was pretty good.
yeah, we have a pet rabbit under protest on my part.
A pet rabbit under protest.
Yeah, it's a rescue.
All right, it's only a rabbit.
From Sweetbriar. Yeah, no, and
they're easy.
Yeah, and like this rabbit had a lot of trauma and took a long time to be able to feel comfortable, but we give her free reign of a lot of space.
Do you have to, it must be tough then, because they take little dumps. So is it hard to find their poop?
No, because, we kind of have a caged-in area where that's where her litter box is, and my wife is constantly because she's a clean freak, and just, I think, pretty much, not daily, because you don't want to get rid of all of the rabbit poop right away, because rabbits do this thing where they eat their poop.
Okay.
Because they don't, they're not able to get all the nutrition out of it the first go round.
Oh.
So it's like every other day she clean, but it's Like it's kept clean. We don't. Our house does not smell like rabbit.
Can you train a rabbit to just dump in that one particular area?
They want to. It's like cats. Like they,
Oh.
they. It's not a training thing. It's a. Oh, this is where I'm gonna poop. And if you make it as inviting as possible for them to pee and poop, then.
So how do you make it inviting? You have like a 2-for-1 special. You have
we
other
have
naked rabbits.
neon signs.
Yeah.
Girls, girls, girls.
Rabbit porn on the screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Like shit on me. Dear rabbit, shit on me.
Bunch of carrots hanging around.
Yeah.
Who else is watching? I can't see the people on the other streaming service that you guys probably don't tell me about because you don't want me to ruin it. What? He's saying that we're showing the show somewhere else when that's where everybody else is watching.
I'm surprised you finally got that.
You're the only one commenting, and I don't see. We don't get the names of who's watching, but we get the numbers. So that's how I know that other people are watching.
I think technically, there's like 2 people that's not you, me, or Friender watching right now.
Oh, that's true.
I always do that math.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Whenever I look at the thing.
Oh, 3 people.
Oh, it's us. It's just us now. Oh no,
No, I mean
3 other
3
people.
others.
You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're right. My bad. I didn't see that. What else you got for me, Tony Walker? You've been waiting around for this whole week with your leg, with your stump. So I want to see what you have to say.
Who's that, Mario?
No, this is Mike Tyson.
Oh. I'm thinking of people that are in here because you did Jay.
Thank you for making me feel terrible about my ability to do voices and impressions.
I was trying to think of people that are in here because you did Jay, so I thought you were doing somebody else that comes in here. So I thought it was Mario.
I don't know if I could do anybody else. There's a couple, but to be honest, all I have to say is mean things about those people.
Do Cravella. You can do Cravella.
Oh, no, yeah. Because I love Cravella. Cravella's one of my favorites. And he's just like such a chill dude. Like, we got him fucking.
You got to talk faster.
Well,
because sometimes I can't understand.
Because sometimes he's just, he does that like, it's just like everything is like run on with each other. And everything.
Yeah.
But he, it was Sunday night. We were at McGuire's, and he was helping Carrie, because Carrie Karavis had won like half of the baskets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was hilarious. And so she enlisted him and somebody else, maybe 2 other dudes, to carry all this shit out to her car. So he's walking away. I'm talking to Butera, like, just outside the door. And we're like, all right, man, you have a good one. We'll see you. He's like, I'm not leaving. And both Butera and I, like, at the same time, are like, no. We're telling you fucking leave, please. Because, like, I don't want to see you again. And we got, like, it's great because he's so physical when he laughs and whatnot. He's one of my, like, he's a smart, fast dude.
Oh, he's great. Absolutely.
Literally one of my favorites.
Him and Dan. Yep.
Yeah, but you know what? They get thrown in together a lot. So, and understandably again, but, like, I do want to just make sure that I'm.
You're right.
I'm pinning on him that he's just.
You're absolutely right.
And a lot of it is like the same form joke where he's like, we'll be talking about like pop culture from even 10 years ago. He's like, you guys are like speaking another language,
yes,
or something. I don't even understand. Like, is that English? Because I have no clue what you guys are saying. And it fucking always kills me.
Oh, he says it all the time.
I love that angle. And he doesn't give up on it. It's just like, no, I don't know what you guys are talking. Like, you guys are literally just saying words I've never heard in my life.
and he always says it with a smile too.
Yes,
he's got that big smile.
He's a smoothie. He's got a vibe and he's got a personality. He's young. I think as he writes more and develops himself more, he is going to be a fucking force. I really, truly.
No, I agree. Totally agree. 100%. But I think that's why him and Dan get looped in, apart from the fact they work together a lot, they do a lot of things together, but also because these 2 guys have hit the scene, and I think they're both going to explode.
I love Dan. I love
and
that
McGuire too. Tom McGuire
too. And
those 3.
Tom McGuire is a Port Jeff Station guy. Every time I think his guidance counselor was was my bully in elementary school, but then we ended up being friends later on. We played football together.
Yeah.
And even I think one of his history teachers was a kid who was a year behind me. So it's always funny to be like, hey, you have any stories about so-and-so? And they'll start telling me, the funny thing about that person is, and he's like,
that's great.
Bro, are you serious? Like, oh, yeah.
Excuse me. I was watching, I was going through some clips of past shows in here the other day, and I totally forgot that McGuire was in here with us one day. Remember, he was performing in the with that magician.
Yes.
And we were totally picking on him because he was so scared about going up there to perform for kids. And so I just sat there and watched it. I was laughing because Jay was here and Dan was here, and the two of us, and we were just, and Joe too, and we were just picking on him as he's getting ready to perform for kids. It was really fun.
He was at McGuire's last night as well. That was that was a lot of fun, and I like. He did well. I'm going to tell you right now, like he definitely had them and everything. It wasn't like Landolfi opened the show, and he just like fucking grabs people's attention and screams at them.
Yep.
And so it wasn't that, like, he didn't get that, but he definitely, and it was an older crowd, kind of like it would be his parents' age. Like all those people were like his parents' age, but he was able to connect, and I loved watching him. I loved hearing his shit. His perspective is awesome, and he's done a really good job of developing it and polishing it. And that's what I was going to say about Dan. Dan also is like, Joe hasn't gotten to the polished yet as like the two of them, but he's got the fucking vibe. He's so fucking smart.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like deceptively smart, because like he's like, anybody who goes like, I don't know what you're talking about with that, but, and then is able to bring it to some other kind of fucking level. But I think and I mean, he's younger than the other two. Like, he's even younger than those two.
Well, how old is McGuire? I don't even know.
McGuire 22.
Oh, okay. Dan's 24.
24. Cravella, I believe, is 20.
Oh, he's only 20.
He's either 19 or 20.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, give him 3 years.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's like sky's the limit
but
kind
he
of thing.
looks older than them.
Really?
I'm joking. I just felt like picking on Joe while he's not here.
Such a dick.
Pretty much. Speaking of dicks, I don't see Bosie. He's not watching. But I was hoping he was. I was going to ask him.
Don't worry, Bosie. Big dick.
Right.
As in you are.
I was hoping to see. Apparently, Bosie played here last night. He got on the big stage. I wanted to ask him about it.
Very nice. I went to McGuire's and did not get on.
I wasn't going to mention that.
Stage. No, it's
all right.
It's a process, and that's
sure.
Like it's things like this that I've always, and I say it to my daughters all the time, because I'm like, listen, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything.
What?
I know. I'm sorry. My daughters have had their whole lives to come to terms with this, but you. Not so much. But that the bad has to be talked about with the good, because
no, you're right.
And it wasn't even bad. Like I told beforehand, I told you it was a net positive.
Yes.
And so the appearance of it being bad should be talked about. It should, like, hey, listen, and yes, there were feelings and whatnot.
And right, and we do cover a lot of all the aspects of comedy in here, so yeah, you're right.
But it's also about having the right mindset, you know, kind of borrowing from Buddhism there, the right mindset to parse it and figure out what the good things were. The good things were, the bad thing was I didn't get to perform. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't spend 10 minutes on stage, but I spent 2 hours with some of my favorite people in comedy, with Tony Landolfi, Terry McNeely, Fat J, Chris Roach. It was awesome. Like, and then also to not have gotten on, and you were able to relate. My grandfather used to say, people don't trust anybody who doesn't drink or smoke. Mm-hmm. And it's like the fallibility. Like, you have to show that you have a weakness. And I think that ends up being kind of the positive, is that when you do have a weak moment or a down moment, and there are people around you who then go, hey, dude, let me tell you about the time this happened to me. And you get all these stories, and it's just so awesome because you're connected. And that's really, this is about being a human being. You're connecting with people. And fallibility and negatives, that's the best way to connect with people. Like,
so let me, if you don't mind, let me just go back a little bit and explain that you were going to McGuire's last night thinking that you were getting a spot.
No, I was going
hoping to get a spot.
I was going to McGuire's hoping, because that's part of, this is a side thing. This is like what you don't realize that your primary mission actually should be as a comedian is to make yourself available to get past at these clubs. These are our home clubs.
Right.
It's going to make it easier to get past at other clubs. And listen, it's not like I just know this. I listen to the people around me. I listen to what better comics, more experienced comics have to say about these things. And so getting past at your home club is so important to getting past at other clubs in other places, because you can say, I'm a regular at Governor's. It's going to help you get in other places. Past that, that's up to you, and the comedian themselves. But part of it is showing up at these places during certain types of shows where you can and ask, like, this is the anxiety. I have a hard time of being like, can I go up? Like, I feel so weird about it, but you have to get over that and say, hi, I'm here if you have some time, like, I'd really appreciate it.
Right.
And you play a game. Like all these everybody thinks life is fucking fair, or that it should be fair, but it's not. And I say this to my daughters all the time. Like, should we try to make it fair? Yes. But is it? No. Your expectation should be not for fairness, but for unfairness. And then what do you have to do to overcome that unfairness? So I showed up hoping that I would get a spot. I made it obvious that I wanted to get on. I was told that I needed to wait, and I'm like, absolutely. Like, this is a process. This isn't, nobody's fucking gonna just show up and be like, oh my God, he's so amazing. He's got to go. And anybody who thinks like that is mentally ill, which is most of Long Island comedy. There's a mental illness. Jay calls it the sickness.
Yep. And
I was just telling you about the sickness before we got on, and I'm going to leave it to Jay to explain that sometime to you. But you can't go in there thinking that I need to go up. You need to go in prepared, and
well, yeah, if you want to go up, yeah, of course, you
and
want to be
say,
prepared.
hey, I would like to go up, like, and not have
there he is,
and not have 5 minutes. It's sickness.
Jay, did you hear his impression of you before?
Bro, Fat Jay has heard Mr. Andy's impression of him. Fat Jay knows Mr. Andy is really good at this shit. But so I showed up, and I'm like, hey, I'd like to go on. They're like, okay, well, we have to wait and check. And I'm like, absolutely. There was a point where it looked like I might be on the show, but then that didn't happen. And is it disappointing? Yes.
Sure.
In the moment. But at the same time, I also was like, well, I also am like, I knew that it was a higher probability of not getting on the show than getting on the show. I treat it as, like, I always want to make sure. I always ask Fat Jay, I'll tell you, I fucking text him, like, where are you going to be tonight? And if he's at McGuire's, I'm like, oh, thank God. Because you want to have that comfort level with at least one other person. Like, I'm going to know somebody else on the show and be friendly with somebody else on the show. But when it's somebody that you love and respect, like I do with Jay,
sure,
it's so much easier.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
So we got to hang out there. And then, like I said, the fallibility, all those guys were just so awesomely generous with stories, with, like, just being like, dude, fucking next time. I can't tell you how long it was before I got up. And
right.
And that is, I think that's actually, in this case, net more of a positive than if I had gotten up. I mean, I might have also gotten up and killed, or I might have gotten up and fucking died.
Either way, though, you just would have been another guy that got up.
Right.
So right.
In this case, the people that I cared the most about, which were the comedians, because it's a social group, it's a social circle, and it kind of is a family in a way, especially that group.
They are your coworkers in a sense.
And these are all guys like Landolfi has the fucking party every year, and it's so awesome and so generous of him, and it's
You've been to
such
those
a
parties.
good time. Yeah.
He tells me every year that I'm getting the invite, and I never get it.
Well, that's because you're just invited. Like that's like him saying that is.
Yeah, but he tells me that every year, but then I never hear when the party is even happening, and then the next day I see it all over Facebook because everybody's posting pictures.
Right. But it's all these guys. I and that group, that Tom McGuire was there, that Austin Brooks was there. These are people I do actually enjoy spending time with.
Sure.
Not a lot of time with certain people, but it's a lot of fun. And yeah, like Jay's saying, prisoners of war should have to feel this pain we go through. And it is a torture, but it is a shared torture. And if you make yourself just be nice, just be a good person, everybody's going to fucking say shit and tell you stories and whatnot and make you laugh. And I mean, I told you all the nice stuff. Like there were times, well, you should fucking quit. Like shit like that,
right.
Which is fun. Like they're making a joke and it's like, you know what? You're right. I should quit. I'm actually I was this close, and now tonight I'm done. You guys are never going to see me again.
But it's funny, and having Jay commenting, Jay has said, and I'm totally paraphrasing, I'm probably making him look, I'm not trying to come out negative, but he has said along the line through the various times I've been with him, I'm not here to make friends.
Yeah.
This is, I worry about what I got to do. Meanwhile, he's one of the nicest guys doing it.
But see, he's not here to make friends, but he makes friends. Mm-hmm. That tells you more about what his generalized approach and what a sweetheart of a man he is.
Absolutely right.
And it's
more I spend time with him, the more I freaking just love this guy.
But it's he was brought up kind of the right way, in terms of like being respectful of people who were there before you,
right,
and be respectful of the people who are coming behind you, and just that's it. You don't have to. If you don't like somebody, newsflash, young comics who are not watching right now. Don't fucking tell people that you don't like them. Just move along.
Right.
No need.
Well,
nobody fucking cares what you think.
That's not necessarily for young comics. That's for
no.
comic.
But the old ones are never going to change. So
true.
The hope is in with the young guys that they just keep their fucking mouths shut. And on top of that is, unless you are in type with somebody or a group of dudes or whatever, don't fucking tell anybody else
right.
that you don't like. Until somebody tells you, oh, this happened, and you go, oh, yeah, well, that happened to me too with that person.
You don't want to burn the bridge.
Right, and you don't know where the bridges are going to be.
Right. You never know when you're going to run to these people again. And I've talked about it before. I'll use myself as an example. I mean, I had a fight with George Gallo.
Right.
And I took it to the air, where I called him on the phone on the air, didn't tell him in advance, just called him, and everybody got to watch it and hear it.
Right.
I felt like an idiot after the fact.
As one does.
And then our sons end up going to college together, where they become good friends. Thankfully, I had seen George once or twice since our fight, and we were totally fine with each other. And we've never even talked about it since.
Right.
But I have nothing but respect for the guy. It was, it's just an issue we had. I think he's past it. I know I'm past it.
Yeah.
I think he's a great comedian. And so I would see him at the college. Our sons graduated together. We hugged each other, congratulated each other. But there was, when I first found out that it was his son that my friend is not only going to school with, but they're tight. There was a part of me was like, oh shit, hope George doesn't kick my ass when he sees me. But
I understand that, but I mean,
I guess this is life. This isn't just comedy, and you just don't know when you're going to cross paths with somebody again.
Right? Yeah, and that's just keep your fucking mouth shut.
Right.
That's all. Like, and be nice.
You're right. Shut my mouth, like I've been told to many times on this show.
Well, it's funny because I always think lately I've been on a Roadhouse kick. Be nice. But when are we allowed to not be nice? I'll let you know that. Like, because there are going to be moments like this is not like perfect for every situation, but in general, there's no reason to slam somebody.
Right. Yep.
For some shit.
You're absolutely right.
Like, make jokes, sure. Like, and that's kind of the hard thing about this. And we were talking about it earlier about like whether people's feelings get hurt. It's because a lot of people in comedy are very thin-skinned.
Right.
And so even you just making what is obviously a joke, I can't tell you how many times people go, okay, I know that you were joking, but, you know, you kind of... And I'm like, oh, shit, I got to be honest. I apologize. I do apologize.
Right.
I don't want to make anybody feel fucking bad. This is a business of making people feel good.
Well, but I have to say, you know what? I'm going to say, first off, in my just almost 5 years of working at Governor's and making all these new friends, hanging around with all these comedians, nobody, from my perspective, nobody's crossed the line with me.
Right.
And I'm a huge fan of that type of humor. I love busting balls. I love just going at each other back and forth. I can do it all day and have nothing but laughs, like roast type humor.
Yeah.
Love it. And I've lost my train of thought.
That's fine.
I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, we were talking about in your time and whether or not people get offended by certain things and not getting offended, and I'm giving up because that's as supportive as I
lost it, man. I lost it.
No, I do it too. I did.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, the weed is obviously the reason.
Not for me. I'm just stupid.
I think the osmosis.
At least
we are all spaced out.
I'm just going to tell people I smoke weed because then it would explain a lot about me.
I actually don't smoke nearly as much as what people would think I do. And I'm sort of baiting Jay to be like,
what the hell was I talking about?
Andy does 2 puffs, and then he's fucking done.
He has said that in here.
No, even though at the time they're all like, okay. Like, but now you're going to bring it. Oh, okay. I see. Tree hits and done. Andy's a lightweight. Tree hits and done.
That's fantastic.
Dude, well, I've been training. See, he doesn't even fucking realize. Last night I took more than 3 hits. I had I want to say 4 or 5, but I had also had 2 with Austin before Jay had come out.
See, but that's the problem, though. See, you do that and then you break your glasses.
No, the glasses were broken before that.
Surely.
But I look at the positive experience, and I made sure that I went up to say goodbye to the manager, and goodbye. Like, I said goodbye to everybody, and Manny was like, "Oh, dude," and I'm like, this is a process, man, and obviously I have not done everything for the process to work for me in this situation. There might have been another day that this would have been a different story. And I've had it in the other direction where there wasn't even a fucking shot of me getting on. Like the Sunday, that wasn't going to happen.
Right.
Last night, it looked like it was going to happen, but then there were circumstances that it didn't. And I'm just happy that they were thinking of me.
Sure.
In that moment. I mean, obviously I put myself there to be thought of, but that...
You were thought of before you even got there.
That I don't know.
I'm putting that out there.
Because I don't think that the sort of the powers that be, I don't think that I scratch the surface. I don't think I'm known like that.
Right, but if you're known with most of the guys who were there, so they might have...
Them, yeah, and they did. They put me. They put me down.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like within that family kind of feel, that brotherhood. That I don't want to make it specific, but fraternity. sorority, all of those brother or sisterhood kind of things. It was all dudes last night, so I say fraternity. Yeah, that means a lot to me. More than getting up is spending the time with those guys and the way they reacted and looked to tend to one of their own. And that means I'm one of their own. That's what I focus on. Like I'm a silver linings guy just in general, but it's you have to talk about the bad with the good.
Absolutely. And I like the attitude towards it. It would definitely. I consider myself a silver linings guy, but it would have probably taken me to the next day to realize the positives. I would have gone home that night all pissed off.
I was sitting there and I was like a ball of nerves, and like I felt like that was a crowd that I could have really fucking killed with my shit, particularly like what I call what I do for the 8 minutes now. It's changed. It's not the same as it always was. It has developed into something different. So my 8 minute set, I think that was the perfect crowd for my 8 minute set.
Yeah.
Anything less, they might have gotten along with. Anything more, I don't know, because it would have gotten into some other things that I don't always get laughs with.
Right.
But that 8 minutes, I got the 8 minutes on lockdown now. This 8 minutes anyway. It's not like it's going to stay the same either. But yeah, no, I was sitting there and I felt the hurt. And it was more of like an embarrassment of then having to carry my guitar back out to the car.
Right.
I mentioned that to you before we went on.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a part that was like, oh shit, when am I going to get this fucking guitar out of here? Because I'm going to have to walk past this lady at the front who kept talking to me that I'm like, she had heard that I might be on the show, and now I'm going to have to walk by this woman who I don't fucking know, who's obnoxiously annoying. That I'm like, wait a second. And then I was like, wait a second, I'm not going to fucking give a shit. And I'm just like, nope, turns out I'm not.
Hit it with the guitar on the way out.
But I was able to sneak by without that.
Nice.
But it was sitting there, and it was just that the guys, each individually, kind of in their own way, came up and said something, and, you know, it was just good.
Fremder says, comedy's like sex. 8 minutes finish, 8 minutes to finish, and you hope that you did good.
Yeah, except, Fremder, if you're getting them to laugh, it's probably not good. Like, unless they're one of those people that have the weird ticklishness, like when they're, like that type of.
That sounded like something else.
Kind of thing.
Fremder said he just had his last procedure on his ass, so he should be able to come in and hang out soon.
Oh.
All right. You are welcome, pal, as soon as you are ready.
Yeah.
Should I not tell you what day that'll be so that you still show up here?
Something like that. I guess.
We had a good time with Fremder when he was here.
Absolutely. No. I've been saying, I'm the one who's been saying, like,
yeah, absolutely, yes.
Get your fixed ass back down in here.
And Fremder, I am going to tell you right now, I am going to make you tell that weird story again. He had this weird story about a girl he met, and I'm going to make him tell that story again. That was one of the craziest stories I've ever heard.
Yeah, in terms of coincidences and whatnot.
Yes, exactly.
What else you got me, Mr. Walker?
Let's see. Oh, all right. Yeah, this. Oh, all right. You know what? I'm going to do a different story instead. No, you know what? Oh, you know what?
That's like 8. You know what?
I know. I got to.
I have no fucking.
There's one thing I wanted that I was saving to talk to you about, and I don't know if this could be a little sensitive, and I don't want anybody to get in trouble. But I'm gonna ask you about this anyway.
Okay.
And,
kill them.
And we're running out of time. We have about 10, 15 minutes left. This might be a longer talk, but journalist Celia Walden recently wrote about taking a 6-week marriage sabbatical.
Okay.
6 weeks.
Vacation.
6 weeks away from my husband in marriage.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. In this post-COVID context, there are probably many couples who could do with a breather.
That makes sense.
But 6 weeks still seems a little extreme. What would you do for the whole 6 weeks? Would you stay in a hotel? Would you go on vacation? Turns out this woman, Celia Walden, is married to Piers Morgan.
Oh, Jesus.
So she would definitely need a sabbatical.
She's going to need another one soon.
She traced the marriage sabbatical way back and across the Atlantic. Here, America. Americans have this long-standing habit of the wife going out of town for the summer and the husband staying home to work and have an affair, hence the 7-year itch. My mother used to say that the happiest marriages were those where one person was in the Navy because then you were off shift longer than you were on. People are marrying later in their 30s and may perceive the constant togetherness as a sacrifice, having gotten used to more time alone. The financial power balance within the household has changed too, so it could easily revolve around the wife's work, with the husband feeling that his dreams have been flattened under his juggernaut. Somebody says, as men age, their testosterone drops, which leads to them gravitating towards home. Women, as they age, estrogen drops and masks that testosterone, so suddenly they become more adventurous.
Right.
Is the sabbatical just a waiting room for a divorce? A relationship psychotherapist is cautious of the whole red flag concept. And says it's a very Generation X type thing. Generation Xers cling onto those traditional myths that if people sleep in different beds, that means there's something wrong. You have to always be together, attend all events together, or there's something wrong. If somebody is enjoying someone else's attractiveness, that means there's something wrong. They really battle with these traditional ideas, making them more true when they're not. You put a lot of your sense of security and safety onto the other person, and then the demands get higher and higher. A sabbatical helps reset that.
Bless you.
Jeez, I'm losing train of thought. I'm sneezing. I'm a mess.
You must be allergic to me.
Yeah, I think most people are. Glasses are. The sabbatical helps reset that marriage should exist in a state of harmony, or it's not a real marriage. This was tested severely by the pandemic.
Right.
Lockdown really showed the importance of space in relationships. Couples were spending so much more time together than they normally did, and a marriage sabbatical.
I have to say, just like scientifically on premise, this is an atypical fucking situation of COVID. It is so atypical that that you can't oh God, it's never been more in focus than this once in a fucking 100 years thing. Like, shut the fuck up.
Well, true.
That's bullshit journalism, doublespeak kind of thing to make my. I'm trying to lend more credence to my.
But it's funny you say that though, because the next sentence I was going to read, there is a soaring. Law firms have reported soaring divorce inquiries, and there's a sudden spike in applications for no-fault divorces.
But is that does that match pre-COVID levels? See, that's things that get left out, and this is critical thinking, everybody. This is why you can't be taken in by fucking all the bullshit that's out there. The critical thinking is that yes, there's a spike now. It's kind of like the year after COVID. It was like that summer 20. So like let's say June of 2020 compared to June of 2021. And they were just talking about all these spikes in crime. And it was like, if you talk about a spike in crime from a year ago, you're an idiot. Because 2020 was an atypical year where it is not going to happen again. Yes, does 2021 look a little bit like 2020? Just a little. But not enough to say that, like, oh, all of a sudden there's so much more crime. Is it more crime than 2019? Let's take the outlier.
So everything should be compared to 19.
From a statistical standpoint.
Yes.
Remove the outlier because you're not being told anything interesting by an outlier.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You get rid of it. My wife and I would sit there and be like, these fucking people. And we would look up. This is what we do at our house for fun. We would look up whatever statistic it was and be like, oh, it's still less than 2019. It's just they're trying. This is the media trying to sell a narrative, trying to get eyes, trying to get clicks, trying to get people to buy whatever. That's where that's true. It's not always true with everything, but like false comparisons like this.
I'll put it away, Andy. I'm sorry.
No. This Tony Walker did this. It's not Celia Walden. Holy shit, that's a made up name.
I am married to Piers Morgan.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's and shit works for some people. Shit doesn't work for other people.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta
like rabbits.
Exactly. They have to eat their shit because they don't get all the nutrients. I'm not sure if this is the right analogy. Just realize I'm not sure what I'm saying anymore.
Well, all right. Well, I'll change subjects and I'm gonna shit on Long Islander Patty LuPone. Did you hear what she did?
Oh, she used to date my father-in-law. So
no kidding.
Tread lightly. Yeah, they graduated from Northport together, and they were both like big singers because that's my father-in-law
you told me
was
that.
Opera.
Nice.
And then through the years, they kept in touch here and there, not like super close. But
can you get her on the show?
I don't think I could.
I will say I'm a big fan. I love her singing voice. I've loved what I've seen her in. But I'm a little upset with this. Have you heard this whole thing with her?
No. Which?
She went on Twitter and announced that she had given up her equity card, signaling that she will not be appearing on Broadway in the foreseeable future.
Okay.
Actors Equity Association is the labor union representing actors and stage managers. All performers appearing on Broadway must be members,
right.
Or they must appear with special permission from the union. As is the case when the cast of a London production comes over to Broadway. Right. So she tweeted, "Quite a week on Broadway, seeing my name being bandied about, gave up my equity card, no longer part of that circus, figure it out." That's all she wrote.
Well, what was see, we're missing the first part. Like her name bandied about.
Right.
So what was that about? I can't speak into
and I've been because I've been wanting to talk about this. Like I said, I'm a big fan. So every article that I've tried to research this on,
right?
All they do is speculate. Nobody seems to know what she's even talking about and why she did this.
Well, then there are people and like she's a smart lady.
Sure,
she really, really is. I would imagine that this is something that's been a long time in the works. And whatever has happened, because saying that her name bandied about, that means there's something, and it might be, who knows, political within her own union, which you do have situations where people will sign out of.
When I was a union guy, I saw some heavy, stupid high school type drama. Yes,
right. But this is somebody who has made her nut. If she needed to get special dispensation, I guarantee you she'll get it. It's obviously not a money thing, but it's a protest for a reason. We don't know that reason, and
right.
It probably is designed as such to not be obvious to people who are not in the know.
In the know.
And that's the other thing about like when people post, especially celebrities. People can fucking complain about, celebrities just shut up and entertain. You too. What are you fucking saying this on social media for then? You're doing the exact same thing. We all do it.
Right.
You just don't like what this person is saying. So stop paying attention.
Keep scrolling. I say it all the time. Who cares what they say? You don't like it? You keep scrolling.
It's not hard. That's why like people who complain about Alec Baldwin and Robert De Niro.
He's a dick.
Personal experiences being personal experiences. Shouldn't have stole his lady. Just saying. But fuck it. Like, who gives a shit? Like, This is not for me. This lady did not write this, so then otherwise she'd fucking private message me and be like, Andy, can you believe this shit?
All right, so you can't get her on the show. Can you find out what the hell she's talking about? Can you do that?
I don't think I would try. Like, because it's not for me. Like,
it might be for them.
I doubt it. This is not an equity situation here.
But we could get the scoop. More people. We'd have more than just me, you, and Fremder watching. If we can get the scoop to find out what's going on and be the first ones to report it.
2 unknown people there.
We were up to 9.
I told you. There was a while back. It might even...
No. It hit 9 again since you said it. But now it's dropping back again. But
I think you were talking a lot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Good on you, Patty. Do you fucking... Like... and obviously like a big, because again, she's not She doesn't appear to be somebody who is going to do something like just that's out and out stupid.
I
There's
agree.
a calculation, and
Yeah.
like she's well known enough and everything, and they would take her back in a second.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Still a draw. Yeah.
So I'm sure whoever it is like, I can't believe we drove Patty LuPone to do that. Let's keep our mouths shut because fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. If it comes out that
Right.
we're the reason and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing the class thing of going, figure it out yourselves. If those people want to
True.
come forward and go, all right, because think about it, everybody wants publicity now and whatnot. They would be like, oh yeah, no, fucking that was us, and you see how unreasonable she's being.
Yeah, that
The
would.
fact that you don't know shows that she's being very reasonable, and that whoever has
All
done
right.
whatever they did
Yeah.
forces them to shut up even more
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And nothing stays silent forever. It'll come out, but in like a way that we won't hear about or some stupid shit.
Or lack of caring at some point.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for us to get out of here.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
So basically, it was like the Tony Andy show today.
Fucking A.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget tonight here in the Giggle Room, Peter Bales, Rich Walker, and Jules, who was in here with us. She'll be back. She's actually coming back this Monday with Tim again, her pal Tim, trying to convince him to do their show. So I'm kissing up.
Yeah.
They'll be back here on Monday, but go see Jules tonight in the Giggle Room with Rich Walker and Peter Bales and a bunch of other great comedians. They're performing in the Giggle Room. Go to govs.com, find out the schedule, see what's cooking here at the club. I think the brokerage is back open.
I saw that too. Yeah, Christy Marr has a.
Oh, is that this weekend?
No, I don't think it's
think
this
it's next
weekend. I think
weekend,
it's
maybe.
November. I think,
Oh, is it
first
November?
Weekend of November.
Oh, okay.
But
she's great.
seeing that was the first time I've seen anything about the brokerage. Yeah.
And don't forget, October 28th, come see Knockem Dead Comedy in the Giggle Room. Just in time for Halloween. You can wear your favorite outfits, costumes. There'll be a costume contest and a murder. The two great things about Halloween right there. Friday, October 28th, in the Giggle Room, Knockem Dead Comedy. All right, hang on. Let's go back for a second. Frank says, Broadway has also changed considerably, Lupone has said. I think we've spent, not we, but whoever is in charge, has actively dumbed down the audience, and so the attention span of the majority of the audience, I think, is much less than it was in the past, and I don't think plays are going to have long lives on Broadway.
They're not.
I feel as though it's turning into Disneyland, a circus, and Las Vegas.
I understand what she's saying, but I do think that what she's complaining about are symptoms and not the issue. The issue is that our culture
Well, yes.
is become.
But there's still a lot of great things on Broadway.
Yeah, but they're not going to last.
But they never did.
No, but they're lasting even less long. There have been a number of announcements over the last few weeks
Yes.
about shows that are not going to be returning in the new year.
But it's still, I mean, I know it's 2 years, but it's still too soon from COVID. New York City still has a really bad rap right now.
No. I don't think this has anything to do with COVID. I think I think you're jumping the gun with thinking about COVID. She's talking about society, the attention span of the majority of the audience.
Well,
And that has to do with culture as a whole.
yes.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think she's getting caught up in the symptoms and not like the cause isn't that the things are being marketed or plays are being directed in such a way that they're not good anymore or that they are catering to people's attention span. I think the art is following life in this case, and they're trying to keep people going to Broadway. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I think Broadway is going to be one of the first casualties of kind of where society is
This
going.
TikTok culture of 30-second videos. Yeah.
You're not going to be able to see. I a few years ago went to, and this is my brush with Danny Aiello because I know Jeff has a fucking thing about that. but I never had a picture with him. But I went to go see a friend of mine was a drummer, the percussionist, primary percussionist for Home for the Holidays, and Danny Aiello is a couple of years before he passed away.
I would hope so.
Yeah, it wasn't the year he passed away. It was like a couple of years before. But my friend, because he's the one who was the drummer for Avril Lavigne. So my friend Mariana said, "Hey, come in, see Rodney." So we went in and we had tickets like in the back, and they moved us all the way up to the front because there were so few people there.
Oh wow!
That was complete bullshit. YouTubers singing, and none of them. The most impressive thing about this show was the band, because the band had a chick who was the had the bass saxophone.
Oh.
Was rocking the bass saxophone, and she and her the other horn, were doing fucking great shit. The percussionists were doing great shit. The guitarist who we met at the melt shop across the street before the show, he was fucking great. Like the band was phenomenal. But like all of these people who were just like YouTube sensations, they're just sitting there singing, and they're not draws.
Right.
So what they did is they shoehorned Danny Aiello in after the fact, where they had him come out and tell stories about Christmas in Manhattan when he was growing up.
Okay.
And it apparently originally was supposed to be a Vegas show, but whatever, they made it a Broadway show. That thing didn't last very long at all.
Yeah, I didn't even hear
and
of it.
We were like, funny because me and my friend Mariana were making fun of it, but my wife's going, "Those people are trying." We're like, "They're trying, but they suck." Like, it was like that. Like, we were doing it in the lobby afterwards because they were there to meet and greet. Like,
yeah,
trying to really make it personal so people word of mouth. But that's it. People are not interested in the shit that they have to. That's like a Follies that they would have put together fucking 50, 60, 70 years ago, and it would have been sold out every week.
But you take a show like the Book of Mormon, still selling out.
Yeah. But they're seeing like things like Beetlejuice, and there was something else that's not returning. They're getting declining ticket sales. Like, not necessarily the top things, like Book of Mormon is so ubiquitous at this
right
time.
yeah.
But like everything else is like slowly dropping away.
Yeah. Well, come see the murder mystery instead.
Yeah. Bottom line,
that's it.
Yeah.
Let's see, and don't forget, so that's October 28th, and go to knockemdeadcomedy.com, find out what else we got going on. We got a bunch of shows in October and November. And of course, don't forget, where is it? Oh, I'm looking at the right one. November 5th in the Giggle Room, the No Rhyme, No Reason comedy night with Jeff and Rich.
Cinco de Novembro.
Exactly. And then don't forget, and then Hershey and the Keegs, November 18th in the Giggle Room with Carla and Jay and Tom McGuire. That's going to be a great night. And of course, don't forget, winner for Best Script at the Tokyo Film Festival. I'll figure this out eventually. There it is.
Somewhere.
There it is. Comic Sans, November 16th. You, nice people, could be at the private screening of Comic Sans on Wednesday, November 16th. Just let us know if you'd like to go. We'll put you on the list. I know Fremder's going, and Liz Batapete is going.
Nice.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice to see Liz.
This movie is going to be great. Can't wait to see it. Are you? Is anything new with you?
No. I'm. Part of me is hoping it'll get canceled.
What, your show or the movie? Oh, your show. All right. What do you got coming?
Not this weekend. No, next weekend. You'll come to my social media and see where I'm going to be in Huntington. I'm not exactly sure where it is. Brandon LaCaruba and Dom LaMarca are hosting it, and it'll be Dracula.
Very nice. I love the Dracula bit. All right, so that's it. We're out of here. Don Sill is on tonight, and Conversations, that's at 8 o'clock. That's on the YouTube channel, of course. And then there's no Green Room show this weekend, so I'll be back here Monday with Jules and Tim, and I'm not doing Tuesday trivia this week. I won't be here on Tuesday. My daughter is getting a tattoo on Tuesday at noon, so I'm going to be there with her.
What's she getting? Do we know yet? Or
She's getting just on her arm. We had a dog who died a few years ago. His name was Manny. She just wants to get the word Manny on her, probably right around here somewhere.
Nice.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have.
I got my daughter's names.
Oh, very nice. Close to your heart.
Mm-hmm. Right over the heart.
Yeah,
that keeps failing me.
That's right.
Go on.
I've talked about it a million times. She's autistic, so she doesn't ask for a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's funny because my mind's going to like, why would you say yes? But it's a normal thing for a kid that age. Like,
right. She loved this dog. Her and this dog had some kind of connection.
Simpatico.
Absolutely. And she still always talks about the dog, and she really doesn't. She's the worst to buy for Christmas because she just doesn't ask for much. And she has a job. She works 1 day a week at a concession stand, and she's had this job for a little over a year. Same thing. She doesn't spend the money. She doesn't do anything. And then she said she wants to get a tattoo. And then she even said, "I have the money, so I want to get a tattoo."
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
it's
been she's been talking about it for a few years now, but she's had this job, so she's finally like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get this." So we made this appointment back in like June or something for October 25th at noon that she's gonna get this thing on her. So I'm gonna talk about that more on Monday, but I won't be here. So Don tonight, and then we'll be back here Monday. Thank you, pal.
Thank you, sir.
And that's it. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And hopefully I won't be that's how I got cut up in the first place, from being out up and about.
When's that over?
It's this weekend and the following weekend. And then that's it. But then I'm off for 3 weeks, and I'm back there playing Santa Claus for 4 weeks. But I'll probably be sitting, taking pictures. So, all right, everybody enjoy your weekend. We'll see you later.